Hey everybody, Jim V here. It is time for a brand new column. This is my May-June column, my snake oil column called Becoming Beautiful. And I'm going to do a live read of this. I wrote this about a month and a half ago. Finally got through editing. So let me read about it, read it to you, and then just a little brief commentary afterwards. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, all that good stuff. It all helps the channel grow. All right, I can put my glasses on for this. Again, this month's column is called Becoming Beautiful. I excitedly experienced Las Vegas for the very first time in the mid-90s. Seeing Caesar's Palace is something on almost everyone's visitor to-do list. I walked around the opulent casino. I was not only struck by the impressive casino itself, but noticed something else that was equally spectacular. There were male and female models dressed as goddesses or male gladiators mixed in with the crowds. Apparently, tens got paid to walk around, talk to people, look gorgeous, and make the place look and feel even better. It was wild to see something like this, yet it made me just a bit uncomfortable as well. I've always been a fan of looking at beautiful things. My 26-year-old ego felt like I paled in comparison. My self-esteem and confidence in my looks at the time was not very high. Still, I was impressed by all of it and thought, yes, I needed to look at why this triggered me, and could I work to make myself better looking if I really chose to? It was not a difficult search for the answer to what the trigger was. In my Catholic family, we were taught to be humble, stay in the background, and look kind of small. Oddly, both of my parents and all of my siblings are either good looking or at least decent looking. Still, most of us followed mom and dad's lead on being shrinking violets. I never thought it was very attractive as a kid. But I did see how much value there would be in becoming handsome or more attractive. Well, there can be traps and added challenges for anyone who is attractive. You just simply get more opportunities and treated better in almost every area of life by being physically attractive. In addition, I figured maxing out creating a muscular body would not only ward off bullies, make me feel healthier, and likely me get me more opportunities for hot partners too. I saw the whole thing as a win-win and began to step away from all the smallness that was part of my family's iconography. Working out 4 days a week started in my late teens, but I ramped it up even more in my 20s. My improved physical body, dressing better, rising confidence, and other benefits really took off in my 30s and 40s. I still work out about an hour a day, 4 times a week. Now in my early 60s, it is such a built-in part of my life that I truly enjoy it. I even feel bummed if I miss workouts. One of the most common misperceptions and excuses I hear from people about why they don't go to a gym or work out is often things like, I hate going to gyms. It's all a bunch of good-looking guys and girls admiring themselves in the mirrors. Oh, how wrong this is. Most avid bodybuilders, yoga practitioners, and other people committed to exercise have at least some elements of body dysmorphia. The tendency to over-scrutinize oneself and be hypercritical of how one looks is far more common than the people who think they're perfect. Why are my shoulders so small? What is this gross lingering 7 pounds around my midsection still doing there? I need to get my legs thicker. They look like crap. The search for the perfect body is an endless pursuit. A lot of professional models that are seen as incredibly beautiful are equally critical of how they should look. All of us form beliefs about beauty at a young age. Frequently, these are held on to and never examined and released. This can limit our confidence and potential to be beautiful, especially when they are negative or blocking perspectives. We see pretty girls in school and some of them act terrible, like the mean girls, and decide all pretty people are shallow. In my experience, religious influences push the idea that vanity is a bad thing. Often virtuousness and goodness are considered missing in anyone who is physically attractive. Letting ourselves or allowing ourselves to be beautiful is something we really have far more leeway over. Often this is not even considered as a possibility by many people, and is frequently fraught with negative belief traps that consciously or unconsciously contribute to limiting our potential. They won't care what's inside or love me because I'm pretty. My family's genetics make us less attractive. There's nothing I can do about that. All pretty people are shallow. I'm so much more than my looks. In some cases, excessive weight gain or unconsciously marring our physical looks can strangely feel safer. It's like a shield of armor to keep ourselves from taking the chance on intimacy. This is common, by the way, for those with chief negative features of arrogance. Arrogance is actually a fear of being judged, compared, and being vulnerable. Often those with this fear will push themselves to be very successful or look flawless, only to have others be afraid to approach them at all. This inevitably creates more struggle inside the arrogant person, wondering what is still wrong with me. Age and wisdom can help us broaden the scope of what beauty actually is. The thoughtful grandma who beams with pride when she looks at her grandchildren can be beautiful. The aunt who happily makes meals for us when we visit is beautiful. The man who rescues dogs from cruel owners is beautiful, no matter what he looks like. The senior man who greets everyone with a thoughtful hello, and smile as a greeter at Walmart is beautiful in his own way. The guy on social media who orders large amounts of food at local mom and pop restaurants to feed the homeless is beautiful. The man who gives up his seat on the subway so a pregnant woman or struggling elderly person can sit is beautiful. All these things and many other examples of people that make us feel good or do good is less about physical comeliness, even when they are physically pretty. They are unquestionably beautiful souls. They make the world a more beautiful place and remind us that we can choose to do similar things. There are so many aspects of life itself that are outlets for us to experience beauty. Beauty can often come through with an appreciation for art, paint, photography, dance, humor, literature, poetry, drama, film, television, music, architecture, to name just a few. We have the beauty of nature, animals, mountains, oceans, trees, plants, sunsets, etc., etc. All of these things and so many other elements to life make it magical to be alive to witness such a myriad of appealing options. Human physical beauty is very pleasing and simply nice to look at. We don't have to virtuously pretend that it isn't. We are wired to enjoy beautiful, although everyone has different versions of what they find attractive. This would be Venus placements on our astrology, by the way. But there really are many ways to be beautiful. I recently saw a 1970s popular singer named Carly Simon on social media site. She's well into her 80s. She still wears great outfits, cool hats, has an incredible sense of style. She may not have the skin of a 20-year-old, but she is still beautiful. And she left a legacy of incredible music. At any point, no matter how old or young we are, we can choose to let our beauty shine and light up the world. Whether we've been taught to believe, whatever we've been taught to believe about beauty, whether physical, spiritual, emotional, or simply with acts of kindness, we can change those beliefs and our actions and behaviors if we choose to. Discovering, sharing, and expanding this part of ourselves will inevitably unleash more beauty into this world. And what's wrong with that? Okay, so a little side note here. I mentioned arrogance in the piece, and arrogance is one of 7 chief negative features or fears that human beings have. Most people generally have collected 2 by the time they're about 18 or 19. And, it's a fear of vulnerability, like I mentioned in the piece. Okay, so I think the piece speaks for itself. I think some people may have initially started this by thinking I was talking about shallow things. And, maybe that's the way people perceive that. But we are tuned to enjoy and appreciate beauty. And again, you said in the piece, there's nothing wrong with that. If we become obsessed with it and it's the only thing that matters, that's a whole nother ballgame. But many, many different forms of beauty. So, my May column, May-June column. Also, quick note here, check out in the comment section, I'm going to put the info there. I'm expanding my Buy Me a Coffee site, including a tarot audio series. So if you're a practicing tarot card reader or interested in that, now you can have an audio version of me explaining the meaning of all the cards. There's all kinds of really cool, amazing stuff on Buy Me a Coffee. A good half of it's free. Or if you want the kind of expanded added insight, you just buy a couple of coffees. That's the point of it, for $5 each, and you'll have access to a ton more stuff on the site. And then there's also an option for a yearly subscriber that's pretty inexpensive also, to give you access to all kinds of good things. So go check it out, Buy Me a Coffee /Ventura. I'll put the info in the link. And hey, happy start to spring, almost summer. Cheers.